Hello everyone, welcome to a quick tutorial on how to submit a termination form through the IDA system. This is a good way for you to submit those forms to Ideal HR without having to fill out a paper form and emailing it over to us. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. To send the form, you'll want to click on My Employees, and then click on Employee Actions, then click on Terminate Employee. You will need to select an employee from the list, so I like to click on the List Employees button. Then I can click on the flag next to the employee that I want to create the form for. Then I need to select an effective from date. Make sure you set this effective from date as the actual termination date or the last day of work for the employee. So that may be in the future, but just make sure you're selecting that correct date there. Once you've done that, you can click on the Continue Request button. Here you'll see some basic instructions up at the top about what needs to be filled out on the form, and then when you scroll down you'll see the actual form itself. Again, you'll need to select a termination date / last day of work for the employee. Make sure that matches the date you selected as the effective date. The date on here is really to show it on the form just in case we ever need to print it out to provide to unemployment, something like that. Next, you can select a termination reason. There's a whole bunch of reasons on here, so go ahead and select the one that's the best fit. You will need to supply some termination details as to why the employee is being terminated, so you can enter those here. The next step down is to let us know whether or not the employee is going to be paid a specific number of hours upon termination. There are a couple of items here to choose from. Most of the time, if the employee is an hourly employee, we're just going to pay them what's in their timesheets. If you don't have timesheets, or if you're not going to be paying them what's in their timesheet, you can click on the listed below option. Now for salaried employees, you can either let us know that they worked a full pay period, or if they've worked a partial pay period, you will need to supply us with a number of hours they should be paid as well. In this case, I'm just going to say 40 hours. The next option on here is if any paid time off will be paid out to the employee upon termination. And this is a simple yes or no question. If you type in yes, you will need to let us know how many hours they're going to receive. If you type in no, you can actually just type in 0 into that PTO payout hours just so we know they're not being paid anything out. This next step is severance agreement details. Most of the time, if there's a severance agreement, you will have already involved us in that process. If there are any details that we haven't discussed with you, you can type them in here. Otherwise, you can just type in NA to let us know that there's no details about that. Now, once you've completed the form, you can click on the sign button down at the bottom right. A new window will appear where you need to type in the password you use to log into the system. Once you enter that in and click on the I agree button, all the forms on the field will be locked, so make sure everything is completed before you do click that sign button. From here, all that's left to do is to click on the submit button, and that's going to be located in the top right. After you've submitted the form to Ideal HR, we can come into the system and retrieve it and make any changes that need to be done to the employee. Now, if you have any questions or concerns regarding terminating the employee, feel free to give us a call here at the office. We're more than willing to help you with that. Thanks again, and we hope to talk to you soon.